So what does the mama do
Nothing.
while you're going up there?
Nothing at all.
She'll stay right there until...
Oh, she's not even in the nest right now.
Oh, she's not. She's out fishing or something.
Basically, more or less, I'm just providing transportation, but I'm a game warden, and a lot of times we'll work in conjunction with a fisheries biologist and wildlife biologist, especially where this is my area. I patrol all this area on a daily basis, so it's good for me to be able to see what they do and trying to provide more habitat and seeing what's going on in my area.
Right.
So it's a different. This is a little different perspective of my everyday, what I do every day, but it's a great chance for me to see their side of things.
So what's an average day like for you?
A lot of it depends on the weather. A lot of times I'll spend a day in the boat and checking fishermen, or if the weather isn't good to be in the boat, I can be in the woods, on the woods roads, checking brook fishermen and checking smaller ponds where boats usually aren't used, sometimes canoes and things like that.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing this time of year, and another couple of months our bear season will get underway, so we'll be doing that. But for the most part right now, fishing is our primary focus, and boating.
This area going from Big Lake over
Towards
to
the
Bangor.
Yep.
Yeah, right. It's
Right.
pretty expansive.
It is.
Pretty large.
It's very big woods. I mean, you're looking at not seeing another. You can go miles and miles and never see another person. And I cover 13 townships myself, and most every other game warden around has that same type of, is covering that same type of thing. But I have a lot of different watersheds that I cover, but there's so many brooks and streams and ponds and a lot of places to be all at the same time, and very inhabited. There's not many people. There's your cell phones don't work and things like that, so that tends to be a communications issue. This area is still a very traditional hunting and fishing type of area. It's probably not what it was 20 years ago, but it's still a problem. We still see moose being poached, deer being poached, fishing violations. We see that a lot, but as a rule, it's gone down. But there's still, it's only what we come across. I mean, there's so much area that we have to cover, and we rely on the public a lot to help us out. If they see something that they don't think is right, just to call and find, and just to make us aware of it. We're trying to protect the resource so that they'll have it in the future.
But you see they're not defensive like sharp-shinned goshawks that'll actually come down and charge you. Generally speaking, eagles stand back, stress out, but it's their vocalizations that indicate, their stress level.
There are certain birds that will come after you?
Mm-hmm.
Like which ones?
Goshawk, sharp-shinned hawk, they're very defensive of the nest, and they'll come down and take your hat off or put a scratch on your bald head.
Yeah, I got enough of those already.
That gets your attention.
Sure.
Their breeding is among the earliest of the birds that nest in Maine. They actually start doing their courtship behavior. Some of their courtship behavior, pair bonding, nest rebuilding, which is a part of the bonding of the pair. They actually start doing that as early along the coast as February, more likely in sites like this around the 1st of March. So they're actually going through aerial displays, aerial courtships, rebuilding the nest, adding sticks to the nest, refreshing it. So that nest will grow every year as long as the tree can withstand the weight of it. It eventually, over time, will probably damage and ultimately kill the tree by virtue of its size and weight. Some of those nests can weigh in the tons. That's how much mass there is up there.
That's amazing. So they are used year after year.
Oh yes, oh yes. And some pairs maintain alternate nest sites. In fact, this pair, I believe the designation on this nest site is C. That means there was originally an A site that was located, I believe, over on that mainland, and then a B site on another one of these islands, and now we're at the C site. Sometimes they maintain more than one nest. They'll only use one nest per year, but sometimes something favors one location over the other. Some pairs will, as one nest becomes unapproachable because of branch growth or somehow changes on site, they will often build and then utilize an alternate site, sometimes returning to the former, sometimes. So we have some pairs that have several nests that may be still intact to some degree or another. So this is all happening in the late winter months of Maine, and those are pretty harsh months. So these birds are among the earliest that return, set up their territory, establish a territory. They defend it from other eagles, as well as some other birds that they'll interact with. So they defend this territory and set up nesting quite early.
Now, how much room does each eagle pair need? Do we know, or could another eagle nest be on that island over there?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
In parts of the state where food is abundant, eagles are very tolerant of other pairs. Where food is less abundant, eagles are very intolerant of other presence. So when you get up in the northeast, up in this area, if we were at saturation levels of population, maybe the closest you'd see another nest might be 3/4 of a mile to a mile away.